Our first guest of the evening is a columnist, playwright and presenter who has most recently lent her hand to a very important cause.
Yes, please welcome Fiona Looney. Fiona, it's great to have you on the couch.
Delighted to be here.
You're a busy woman and you recently just had a trip to Uganda.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why you were there?
Yeah, basically I went over with World Vision Ireland. I've been sponsoring children through them for 20 years. And just to give you a little bit of background, like I had to look up on a map to see where Uganda was. I mean, you know, I kind of prided myself on being able to find Africa and never thought I'd need to know anything more than that. So the great thing about the trip, from my point of view, was sponsoring children for a long time, but not in a kind of a waking up every morning going, I wonder how my child in Africa is getting on. Never really, I have to be honest, like never thought about it, you know, kind of €25 a month, made sure that there was enough money in the bank to cover it.
Yeah.
Twice a year I would get a birthday card, which I didn't even have to buy. Like they would send me the birthday card and then Christmas card. And I would spend, 15 seconds writing it. And they always said, you know, you can put a photo on it or you can write about your life. And I'd just go from your friend in Ireland, Fiona, into the post, off I go, forget about it. Yeah. And kind of thought, they never get these. It's fine.
Kind of would think that.
You know, like it'll be fine. And anyway, fast forward and I suddenly rock up in his village and he's holding the last birthday card. Mortified.
Oh, because, yes, when you were there, you recently got to meet John, who you've been sponsoring. And he had, there he is, yourself and John.
That's John.
And he was holding the card when you got there.
Mortifying. But anyway, so John is the third child that I had sponsored. So I had girls in Tanzania before then, again through World Vision. And I have to say, you know, it's a great way of, like, whatever about the work it does in Africa or in various parts of the world, it's a great way of grounding your own kids in Ireland, child sponsorship in the third world. Because when they're doing the whole, but why can't I? Why can't I get? Why can't I have? Life is unfair. You've got a child who's there. So the girls I sponsored were the same age as my own girls at the time. And their school reports were on the fridge alongside my kids' school reports. Wow. And it's a great way of being able to say, that's why you can't, because these kids are surviving on very little and they're thriving and they're going to school and it's hard for them. So it's actually a great thing to do when your kids are growing up, is to do child sponsorship. But anyway, John, my kids are now grown up. So John, you know, when the girls left the sponsorship scheme in Africa, I moved on to 7-year-old John in Uganda.
And you as well, when you were there, obviously we saw that you got to meet him, but you also got to meet his parents. Was that a very emotional meeting?
Listen, it was extraordinary because, you know, as you're probably getting from me the whole time I was there, I mean, they're such lovely people and they're so gracious and grateful. And everywhere I went in Uganda, all the people working in the community and the people, you know, in the community kept saying, oh, you're amazing. Like, you know, you give us this, you know, this charity and you're amazing. And I was going, God, I am a total imposter here. Like, you know, because as I say, you know, I spent no time thinking about this. And I kept saying, I do nothing. But I really saw through the work that World Vision do, and particularly in John's village, that actually it's not nothing. And when I met John's parents, his mother, who's this very unassuming, tiny woman who never imagined she'd ever have to stand up in front of, you know, I mean, we were the first white people in this village. Like, this is kind of how rural it was. Yeah. And she basically picked up a book, a well-thumbed book, a Bible, and she stood up and said, when World Vision first came to us and they said, you know, will you put your youngest child forward for sponsorship? She said, I took this book and I explained that I never learned to read or write. And if my son is in child sponsorship, he will go to school, he will stay in school, he will learn to read and write, and one day he will be able to read this book with me. And I'm sitting there.
Started crying.
I know. Well, like, I was gone, and you just go, this is not nothing. You know, it's 25 quid to us. It means the world over there, and it's very well used. Like, it lifts the whole community. It doesn't go to John's family. It doesn't go into their pocket. It goes into the community. So all boats are lifted by it, and it's amazing to see it. It's very moving, I have to say.
It's lovely to hear that you actually went down there to see how your money was being used. Yeah. When you came home, then, has it changed your perspective on how we live and with your kids and that? Do you know what?
I'm going to be dead honest. No, it didn't. You know, I mean, admittedly, kind of. Listen, I'm very superficial type of person, really.
I love the honesty.
I'd love to tell you, I came home and said, I'm never going to turn on the immersion again or have a shower or, you know, like enjoy kind of, you know, the luxuries of life. What it did was it made me more grateful for what we have and more aware of it. But so, you know, when people say, like, because a lot of people have said to me, did it change your life? And what I would say is, it didn't change my life, but I saw how it changes people's lives out there. Yeah. And that is, you know, a fantastic... I mean, it was a privilege for me to go there, you know.
Fiona, you're doing more than most people, like, so
I'm doing very little, honestly, Greg. But
still, as you see, every little helps, you know.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think people... And, you know, I think a lot of people, and I would have been one of them, you know, when you hear of, like, a, you know, like a kind of a natural disaster or, you know, any kind of a crisis, people tend to go, well, I don't have very much money, or I don't speak the local language, I don't have the skill set, so I can do nothing. Yeah. And I can tell you, the littlest contribution actually makes a huge difference to these people's lives.
Yeah.
You're sticking around for a bit of grub?
I am sticking around.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Fiona.